Hey family, welcome back to our channel. I am Keisha and
I'm Derek.
yes he is.
I don't even like it. Stop.
Okay. You don't want to be introduced as Herb and Herb, what is it? Peaches and Herb? I'm Peaches. Hey fam, welcome back to our channel. I'm Keisha.
I'm Derek, and this video is our Q&A responses for all the comments and questions you guys have left since we started doing more regular vlogs, and also in response to our first Q&A videos, part 1 and part 2. The audio in this one is much better. The video in this one is much better. We figured out lighting. This one is easier to watch, so watch this one, okay guys?
Click here, subscribe here, press the button.
Subscribe and do all of that. But yeah, we collected all of the questions and we're going to put it together for you right now. Hope you guys enjoy.
Enjoy. All right, our first question is, thank you so much for the video. I have a few questions. Would you recommend for people to move to Dubai? How are African American women treated in Dubai? Do you see Dubai being an economic power in the years to come? And did we feel welcome when we moved here? If you can't answer any of the questions, I completely understand. Thank you. Thanks for your question. Number one, do you want to go ahead?
What's the first one again?
The first part of this question is, would we recommend for people to move to Dubai? I say yes.
Yeah, I think it's a good opportunity if it makes financial sense. I mean, it definitely has been an eye-opening experience for us, for our children, seeing the world outside of the U.S., really outside of Virginia for the kids.
Yeah.
It's been a very life-enriching experience. So you definitely want to make sure that the finances are in order to move here. It's not impossible, but there are a lot of lights, a lot of glittering lights that can steal your focus if you're not financially prepared. So it's a lot to try to take in, a lot to do, and you can get off track really easy. But I would definitely, if we had to do it all over again, I would do it.
Definitely. I love it here. If we didn't have to go back to the States, I wouldn't go. But that is neither here nor there because we have to go back. Another part of the question is, how are African American women treated here? I can only speak for my experience, and I have not, received any type of discrimination or been treated any kind of way living here. Other people may have other experiences, but for me, I felt welcome here, basically. Now, they will follow you in every store, but they follow everyone, I think, right? Yeah, it's just like part of their service. Like, they'll walk around and carry your cart or your basket or your whatever with you. So that was a little bit much for me to take when we first got here. This question, do you see Dubai being an economic power in the years to come?
That one is interesting. I really don't know. As much money as is invested here, and just for instance, the real estate game, it has significant swings that are, I guess they're cyclical. I don't know exactly what they're tied to, but they are periods where the rents will drop. They're always building something here, but the occupancy rates are not that high.
Yeah, there are buildings going up like.
Yeah. So it's hard to fathom. It's hard to see the big picture. I'm sure they have a plan, but just as a resident, it's hard to believe that the rate of investment, especially in construction, residential and office buildings, is sustainable given the rate at which the buildings are occupied. There's a lot of open buildings out here. So it'll be interesting to see. I know there's a 2020 Expo, which a lot of the investment is building up, but that it's a World Expo that'll happen here in 2020, of course. It would be interesting to see what the next thing is after that, or how long it's sustainable after that. I think that would be a big world event. I don't know that we'll be here 2020, but I thought we would only be here 2 years, so we're heading into year 3. but it'll be interesting to see. I can't speak. I can only speak from my perspective as to whether or not I think it will be. It's hard to believe that it will be sustainable unless something significantly changed.
Okay, great. Next question is, I'm moving to the UAE August 2017. Welcome. Look us up when you come. Where do you get your hair done? It looks great. Thank you so much. And the answer to that is I get my hair done in my bathroom. My own bathroom right here. I have no idea. I am still on the search to find somewhere to do my particular type of hair. There are salons everywhere, so you can get your hair done. I have no doubt. But the type of products that we use in our family are pretty scarce in these parts. So,
Was that question for you or for me?
me.
Oh, okay.
What?
You might want to know where I get my hair
Where do
done.
you get your hair done, honey?
Next
Because it
question.
looks great too.
Next question.
No, you don't want to answer that? Okay. So this person is seriously considering moving here, and they have a background in business management and in the medical field, and they need a high-paying salary because they have a child in college. Girl, I'm not looking forward to it. And she says she got bills. So which contractors would be great to research? I personally cannot help you in that arena. Derek is actually a contractor, but not that type of contractor. So maybe you work in government contracts, but not
He's talking
contracting
in
people
healthcare?
out. Yeah.
Not contract. I can't answer. I can't speak to healthcare specifically. I've met a couple people that work for Pfizer. I know there's representation of some of the major players here. Like I said, Pfizer's the only one I'm familiar with somebody that actually works for them, and they seem to be doing fairly well. The market in Dubai is weird. I do have friends that work in the commercial sector, and it seems to be somewhat of a downtime in the commercial sector. I think I mentioned in the first Q&A that I work for a U.S. government contractor, so it's a little bit different impact of how the economy here would impact my job. I do believe there are a few U.S. government. I know there are a few U.S. government contractors out here. I won't speak on them specifically, but if you can get into a U.S. government contractor, I would suggest that it's relatively safe. I have friends that are in the communications industry here, and one actually works for one of the two major players here, and they had a bunch of layoffs over the last year. So again, the economy swings. Right now, I can't answer outside of U.S. government contracting, and that's what our livelihood is tied to. So it's been a good ride so far, and from what I've seen from competitors, they're hiring and employing. I haven't seen too much of layoffs or any U.S. government contractors shutting down shop since I've been here.
I say just Google it, research, try to find. I mean, you can find whatever you're looking for.
And it's subjective. I mean, what is a high-paying job to this individual? It's all relative to your situation. The tax break is the biggest thing. So, I mean, if you made $80,000 or $90,000 in the U.S. and you had a chance to move here at the same salary, depending on your situation, you can make it work, and it will probably be to your benefit given the tax break. Again, it's just the discipline and lifestyle is a lot attractive, a lot of flashing lights that are attractive here, so there are ways to make it work.
Okay, the next question/comment reappeared a few times, and it pertains to schooling the children. This person in particular wanted to know, what school did we decide on for our kids? So firstly, our kids don't go to any of the schools provided here in the UAE. We have decided to homeschool them, and we use the Abeka curriculum. So it's a Christian academy that the kids attend online from our home, and then we send the items to the school so they can be accredited, and they can go through and check and make sure that the kids have passed all of their tests and things like that, and they're competent to move on to the next grade. So
And it's a system that they used before. So they went to, all of our kids at some point started in private school.
Right.
And that was the curriculum that was used. They also went to public school.
Right.
But I was personally comfortable with that curriculum because I was familiar with it.
Yeah, and they did very well when they were in private school with this particular curriculum. So we knew that it was something they could grasp, and it was something that, it's good to have something familiar when you go somewhere new. I think you can speak to the schools here better than me because I don't know about you've heard in the streets what it's really like. I don't know what it's really like.
Yeah, I mean, it's all I have is subjective opinions. My coworkers have children that are in school. Some are extremely dissatisfied. Some are somewhat satisfied. I have coworkers that are Indian, that are Filipino, that are of various nationalities. I've heard that the Indian schools are very difficult as far as the curriculum. And now that I think about it, I don't know if that's here or they were referring to Indian curriculums back in their homeland of India. But it's very heavy math and science focused, not very much focused on social interaction and sports. Again, this is subjective information that I've heard from, secondhand from an individual. I've also heard of people that pay for the schools that a lot of expats attend, some of the British schools, some of the U.S. schools, and they have mixed feelings about that. Financially, what made sense for us, especially with the transition, was to start them in homeschool. If we were to be here longer than another year, I would definitely want to start looking at schools. We have a high schooler.
We don't want her to miss out on that experience. Okay, the next question is, how is our flight here? And I don't know if we addressed this in one of the other videos, but our flight moving here was fantastic. And we flew Emirates, so you know that it was like top notch. They fed us constantly. It was comfortable. Our kids, I think this was all of their first time flying, and they did an amazing job. There were no meltdowns or anything like that. It was just a really good experience, and we received some blessings and favor because, of course, we were moving internationally, and we had, you can imagine with 7 people how much stuff we had coming here, and we didn't have to pay for the extra baggage fees.
So that this is not a strategy.
No.
By any stretch.
But it's a testimony because won't he do it?
Yeah, I think we had 9 or 10 suitcases and 11 or 12 foot lockers. The trunks.
It was like 2 or 3 bags per person.
Military people would ship stuff around in, and we were prepared to pay for the excess baggage fees for the overage, and it probably would have been about, I think I was figuring about $1,600-$1,800 based on the additional bags that we had. But when we got to the counter, the lady just was so, I guess, frustrated with all the stuff that we had, and there was a long line, and it probably would have taken them about 45 minutes to do all of what needed to be done to give us excess baggage.
And the guy was like, they good.
They just put tags on everything and let us through, so that saved us a lot. Same thing with carry-ons.
Yeah.
We had way more carry-ons than we were supposed to. But we had a direct flight, which that was the only time we've flown direct.
So good.
On the last trip home and back here, we flew KLM. KLM and Air France have a partnership, so it was, I can't remember who we bought the ticket to, but it was KLM. And those flights were decent also. We broke our trip up. Well, we had a layover the first time in Paris, and I took a longer layover, and we were able to get out and do a city tour. So we organized to have somebody pick us up at the airport in the van, took us out, kind of tired the kids out. By the time we got back to the airport, we had about 2 hours. Yeah, so it was fine. And then coming back, we stopped in Amsterdam from the U.S. Coming back to Dubai, we stopped in Amsterdam, and the same thing. We got out Amsterdam is Schiphol Airport is a very, or Schiphol, however you pronounce it.
We should have stayed.
Very easy airport to get in and out of. So if you're ever flying through and you need an airport that you want to get out and access the city, we got out, did bus tours, we hopped on the metro.
Literally, like right outside of the subway thing.
It probably took us maybe 20 minutes from the airplane to get out of the airport because we spent 5 minutes. I spent 5 minutes trying to figure out which way to go.
And we checked our luggage too. They have a place where you can park your stuff and then go do whatever you want to do and then come back to the airport. But the airport is also a mall though, right?
It's a lot in the airport. I mean,
it's a ton of stuff.
I think it's a hotel. I think it's a casino. Plenty of restaurants, of course, but I like flying through Amsterdam.
Okay, I think are we doing Amsterdam this time too? Amsterdam. We're going to Amsterdam this time too. Another person says, did we ever visit the Burj Khalifa? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, we did a date night and we didn't do a vlog because I don't think you can take your cameras in there. Oh, we just didn't. Was it because we didn't know? Because we had to go through like the metal detector and they made you check your bags and all that good stuff.
I don't even think vlogging we weren't
real serious
actively.
But if you are following us or if you have not already, you can like our Facebook page and there are pictures from that trip on our Facebook page.
It's something to do.
It is.
I've heard that the sunset trip, well, because you have to buy tickets for certain times to go, and the sunset one is the most popular. And I mean, I can see why, but we went at night and the city looked amazing from up there, so it's definitely something to do.
It was beautiful. Okay, awesome video. Thank you for sharing such interesting info about the UAE and the fun-loving love of your marriage. I'll be visiting on holiday and I can't wait. So what brunches do we love here, and have we ever taken the Uber helicopter ride? Ooh, and are there networking or meetups for African Americans that live in Dubai that I can connect with as I research and consider moving here? Move! Do it! And there are tons of meetups and networking events and stuff. So we have not taken the Uber helicopter, but we did have dinner in the sky. Okay, so there is is it a group?
Yeah.
A group. You look it up online. It's called Internations, and I think it's either .com or .ae. Most things are .ae here. Have you been to any of those events?
I haven't, but it's a meetup group, and they do events at least weekly, and every couple of days at the beginning of the week they'll tell you what the event is for the week, and they'll do like I don't know if they've ever done a brunch, but they do sporting events. They'll do happy hours.
Mixers,
mixer type stuff. I don't know anybody that's been, but that is one option for to meet other people that are in similar situations that are looking for people to hang out with, kick it with. INTER Nations is the name of the group.
Yeah, and there's also Meetup. Either .com or .ae. I'll annotate it somewhere around here in the description down below. And you can choose, I think they have these type of meetups in the States too, what type of group you're going for. So if it's people who like reading or people who like hiking, or if you want to go salsa dancing, you can find any and everything on meetups. So if that's a desire of yours, don't even worry about it, honey. Yeah, you can meet people.
What was the last name?
That was no. Did we ever take the Uber helicopter?
I've checked for it a couple times. It's never been available when we were able to do it. I've seen it available a couple of times, but not at the point where we were actually ready to do it. But I do want to try it before we leave. Uber Chopper.
Uber Chopper, is that what it's called? They got Uber Eats, Uber Chopper, Take Your Uber. All the Ubers, like the basic level of Uber is Alexa's here. I have another question. This is another person who's asking another question. Can you hold hands with your spouse in public? I've seen it.
Yeah. So I mean, that's kind of subjective too. The point of it all is don't be offensive to people.
Right.
There's some areas like the malls are pretty
and progressive.
Pretty, that's the word. We're pretty progressive.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be around a mosque or in some of the more historic parts of Dubai or even Abu Dhabi. You probably wouldn't do it. Same thing with the dress code. I mean, it's a lot more tolerable than people assume or rumored to be.
It's not as oppressed as.
Yeah, it's all about where you're going. If you're going somewhere for a religious event, or like I said, to a more historic part of the emirate, whatever emirate you're in, don't be offensive to people. So, like Keisha said, I've seen people hold hands. I've seen people kissing,
Cuddling, canoodling,
yeah,
all kind of good stuff.
That's not to say come here and try it.
Don't
It's
try
say
it.
be aware of your surroundings, and again, if you appear to be offending somebody,
Right.
you're gonna lose the argument. So it's not even worth it. Just stop, apologize, keep it moving.
Okay. All right. This person has about 7 questions. So
First 2.
only the first. No, she has really good questions. She like went in and rewrote her questions and stuff. I see you. I appreciate your hustle.
All right,
honey.
we apologize to everybody else's questions we don't get to because of this.
We're gonna do our best to get to all of the questions, I promise. Okay. She says, I often wanted to know how we both prepared our children to come to the Middle East, and did we talk to them about religion and culture beforehand? I just had a honest, open talk, answered all questions. We went on the computer, found where it was on the map. Derek was here first, of course, so I kind of tied it to this is where Daddy is, because they were all much younger at the time when we first. Wow, they were so young before we moved here. Anyway, and so it was just an open conversation. We moved from a very diverse area. We were in the DMV, the DC area in the States, so our kids are not strangers to different cultures.
There's a lot of Indians, a lot of East Africans.
Yeah,
in the
so
DMV area.
the biggest thing was for my son, he was unsure of if they spoke English here. He was so little, so he was just like, I don't know, he was just so apprehensive about that aspect of it. But once we moved here, they all made friends and they were perfectly fine. So culture and religion, I myself think that we're pretty open as a family. So, I mean, we're not judgers.
Yeah.
We're not finger pointers or anything like that. We pretty much embrace everything. And if our kids have questions, there's no hesitation to answer those questions.
Teach them to respect
Yeah,
others first.
Yeah.
Respect them as humans.
right.
Everybody has a version of a belief. Even no belief is a belief. So we're all influenced by something, whether it's our upbringing, training, what have you, our surroundings. So you treat people as human.
Right.
Start there.
Start there. We're all alike in some way. Did we prepare them to see women with their heads, women covered from head to toe and things like that? Along with that, we did tons of research. There are Muslims in the United States as well, so I mean, it wasn't too big. It wasn't like a huge drastic change, like a big giant leap for our kids.
It took some adjusting. I mean, just because of their maturity level, because seeing a bunch of people that don't look like them,
Right.
not initially realizing that we're the outsiders.
Right.
Like, even at home, it's kids see things that don't look like them as either looking funny or different, or think that they look funny or different. But they caught on very quickly. We didn't tolerate much disrespect, whether it was
they didn't really-
snickering or smart remarks. So,
They did initially. The biggest thing getting used to was a call of prayer.
yeah.
Like while we were shopping and stuff, and you see their eyes get big and they didn't know quite what to do, but that soon passed. I mean, I think even adults will have to have that same type of adjustment period. So I think they did really, really well for coming here at the ages that they were, and they accepted things.
So, I mean, tell me right now, the kids Keisha has 5 kids, and they are 13, 11, 9, 3, and 2.
Yep. So we came with a 6-month-old and an 11-year-old and all that in between. So they did really, really well. Let's see. How do we prepare them for visiting the mosque? They already knew, kind of, just by living here. We've been here for almost 2 years, so they knew, out of respect, they were looking in their closet themselves for long dresses, and they were really excited for it. So
We just went to the mosque a month ago.
yeah. Have they been able to find friends of different cultures? Considering that they are black, yes. This is kind of a melting pot here. If you've ever visited New York, if you've ever visited DC, if you've ever visited Chicago or anything, California, it's basically the same thing. It's just a ton of sand around us. So
I mean, I get what they're saying, because it's different when the melting pot is where you're familiar. But when you're considered the visitor, I guess it's a little different. But our neighborhood, once it cooled, we moved here in August, and I moved the family here in July, and that's July and August are the hottest months, so you don't even do anything outside but get in your car and go somewhere else. So when it cooled off around end of September, October, realized that there were about 12 to 14 kids in the neighborhood, and it seemed like all of them had a couple in their age range.
or siblings, like they could all hang out as groups.
So they would get out, take off on bikes, and you have to call them in when it gets dark.
Yep, set times.
So it was cool. We the neighborhood we're in now, a lot of people have moved out, but the neighborhood we're moving to
All their friends moved away except
has
for
that,
one.
yeah, really has that community. Kids out riding bikes, going to the pool and stuff. So they'll be good.
Definitely will be good. We already answered the discrimination. Have you experienced? Because it's a lot of times the questions are for me or for the women. But have you?
I mean, I think I said it before. It's more like class based. If you're perceived to have, I've seen the wealthy people with the bad attitude. Because they are wealthy, they talk or move a certain way. I've seen that. I've seen wealthy people that are very kind and generous and respectful and open dialogue with you. So you can't. I mean, whatever stereotype you heard probably exists, just like in the U.S. That doesn't mean that everybody of that nationality or of that sect is that way. It's more so the I have money thing. When people cut me off, it's not because I'm black.
It's just because they're jerks.
Yeah, that's the thing I'm still soliciting prayers for.
I just ignore it.
People roll rage.
Be easy. Be easy.
But
No.
overt like race now.
That is more prevalent in the United States of America.
I mean, again, it's our experience. Like I haven't felt displaced because of my race here.
No.
So.
They are extra friendly, and we have a ton of kids. Let me tell you how friendly people are towards kids here. Like, they cater to the children in this area. Do you agree or no? Like, they're constantly pinching cheeks or getting down on the kids' levels to talk to them and things like that. As far as
That's on folks.
Huh?
That's more. Yeah. That's
Right?
on folks. Yeah. And you'll find everything here. Every possible situation, you'll find here.
Our kids are happy. If there was ever a doubt if they were happy or not, they're happy, and we'll be happy to do like kids Q&A maybe, so y'all can hear straight from their mouths their experience here in the UAE. Okay, so another comment/question. Hey, I'm planning on relocating to Dubai from LA. Hey. I plan to rent to see how it is before buying. Can you even buy? We'll get to that.
Absolutely.
We'll get to that. From what I see, you have to pay over bulk installments rather than monthly rent and mortgage payments. Is that true? Do you know if having excellent credit established in the States could also play a factor here? And lastly, does the price hike you always mention apply to all residential areas? So how the prices are about to go
So
up.
rent, yes. So rent is advertised as the annual amount, for the villa, the apartment, whatever residency, whatever residence is being advertised. What you can negotiate is the number of checks or installment. So you'll see the rent may say 100,000 AED, which is Durham, the currency here. 2 checks. So they want a check when you start, and then at the 6-month mark, you would give them 2 checks. One for the first day of your lease of occupancy, and then one post-dated for 6 months later. And if you had 3 checks, it would be 4 months later. If you had 4 checks, it would be quarterly payments. So that's what you negotiate. I have heard in rare cases where a landlord will accept 12 checks, but that's typically an apartment,
Right.
Maybe a studio, something like that. And the more checks you negotiate, typically increases the rate, right? So if it's advertised at 120,000, one check, which is a pretty good deal for 3 or 4 bedroom villa in just about anywhere in Dubai, really. If you want to negotiate 4 checks, that 120 may go to 130.
135.
Yeah. So it's your installments can be negotiated, but yes, you're going to give them a representation of all your payments before you move in. So post-dated checks to a bank, a local bank. To get a local bank account here, I think you got to have a residence visa. I'm pretty sure to establish an account here. I had to have one.
And they give you money based on your job, right? Like based on how
The
much
credit
you
thing,
make.
credit in the U.S. doesn't apply here. They have a system of checking your obligations before they lend you money or extend you credit, but it's really based on your verified income.
Yeah, your salary.
Yeah. What was the last part?
Okay, so
Credit
the
in the
bulk
US.
of credit. Does
Yeah.
the credit, excellent credit in the States,
No.
translate to here?
Excellent credit in the U.S. has nothing to do with here. They have their own system of knowing which obligations are, and they look at that in regard, with compared to your income, pretty much. So it's not. They've established a credit reporting system here, but I wouldn't suggest that it's as stringent as the U.S. They are eager to lend you money here. But yeah, having your credit in the U.S. has no impact. Now, when you do conduct certain financial transactions here, you have to fill out a W-9 if you're a U.S. citizen, and they will report over a certain amount if you got loaned a certain amount of money. I forgot what the threshold is, but they will report that to the IRS in some cases.
Oh, okay. And then we got some comments about the seriousness of this man right here.
This face? My face is always like this.
Lies. I don't know, guys. Watch the vlogs. He does have a serious
Cut
face.
up, man. I'm getting more comfortable with the whole camera thing.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I do look serious all the time, but I'm really a clown.
Do y'all think that I will be able to deal?
I'm really a jokester. And she's like the complete
Extra.
opposite, so
We have to kind of meet in the middle.
the balance is found therein. But I get it, y'all. Just lighten up. I got you, dog.
He is like, I loved him and
I
stuff.
got you.
I had loved him and stuff. And y'all like, no,
Stop.
no.
Just knock it off. This is why I'm serious, because we have episodes like that all the time. I got to be prepared. We can't both be, completely out there. Like
Come
that.
on. Why we can't be completely out there? I think that is the end of it. Let me do
That's
a
it.
quick scroll because I think we answered most of the questions. Thank you for everyone who gave birthday shout outs and things like that for all of our birthdays. Thanks so much for all of the support and everyone watching the videos. Thank you.
All right.
I love growing our family. We love interacting with you guys. I know we constantly say it, but keep dropping comments for us. Keep leaving us questions and things like that. It's motivating for us, and you've helped to open up a new door, not only for our family, but for our relationship. This is like something that we can actually do together and we both enjoy, which, you know, if you can get it, grab it, y'all. Grab on phone. I don't think we have any more pressing questions, but if you guys do have any questions, please feel free to leave them down below. If we can be of any help or service to you, to all those people who are trying to move over here, come on and move, y'all. I promise you'll enjoy it, but we'll help where we can. We are family, so that's what family's for, right? Right.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I can't deal with this guy. I guess that's it, babe. Yep, that's a wrap, guys.
Be blessed.
Be blessed, fam.